Hello everyone, I am Adesh and I welcome you to my channel. In today's video, I'll be continuing the Creating a Game series. If you haven't watched the previous video yet, then be sure to check that out first, as in that video, I discussed the idea of this game. If you have watched that already, then let's get started. The software that I'll be using for this game is Unity, Visual Studio and Photoshop. So let's get started by opening Unity first. After opening Unity, I created a new project, changed it to 2D and named it Creating a Game. Now Unity takes a while to load and open, so bear with me for just a second. While we wait, I have a news for you guys. Did you know that I have made and published a game on Playstore? Be sure to check it out. The link is in the description. So after I don't know about half an hour, Unity had finally opened. After that, the first thing I did was to change the background color from this base blue color to a minimal white. Note that this is not the final theme and I will change it to something more interesting in the future. Next, I created a 2D sprite and named it Player. Then I created a folder where I would store the sprites, and in that I created a circle sprite. This circle sprite was going to be the player. I assigned the sprite to the player, reduced its size and changed its color to black. Next, it was time to add some components to the player. I first started by adding a rigid body 2D, which gave the player some physics. Then I added a circle collider 2D, which enabled the player to collide with objects. It is this green border around the player. Next, I added a line renderer and changed its texture mode to tile. As you can see at default, the line renderer produces a pink and thick line, which I don't like. So for changing that, I imported an arrowhead sprite with a transparent background and a material whose shader is unlit and transparent. For its texture, I chose the arrowhead sprite. Next, I went back to the player's line renderer component, and for the material, I chose the new material which I just created. Now as you can see, when we produce the line, we see the arrowhead, but I wanted the arrowhead to repeat, so I went back to the arrowhead sprite and changed its wrap mode from clamp to repeat. Now the player was all set up and it was time for writing the code. So I started by creating a C# script called player drag and attached it to the player. Next, I double clicked on it to open it up in Visual Studio and started writing the code. After the code was done, I went back to Unity to see if it worked. As you can see, it worked perfectly and the player is now moving as desired. With that, the player is now set up and we can also control it. In the next devlog, I will make the obstacles and enable the player to bounce off them. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I am going to wrap up this video. I hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it. So till the next time we meet, I hope you keep learning, keep growing, and thank you for watching this video.